What if I told you that Elon Musk, the billionaire behind Tesla and SpaceX, once had to borrow money just to pay his rent? What if I told you that his companies were weeks away from bankruptcy, his rockets were exploding one after another, and the world was laughing at him? Most people only see Elon Musk's success, his wealth, and his influence. But behind the fame is a story of darkest days, when he almost lost everything. Today, we're going to uncover how Elon Musk's struggles, failures, and darkest moments shaped him into the man he is today, and how those same lessons can inspire you in your own life. So stay with me, because this story might just change the way you see failure. Hello, and welcome to Beginner's English Storytime, the podcast where real stories inspire you while you practice English listening. If you're new here, don't forget to follow us and join our growing family of listeners around the world. Today's episode is about one of the most famous names in the world, Elon Musk. You may know him as the billionaire behind Tesla and SpaceX, but what most people don't know is the pain, struggle, and failure behind his success. So let's go back to where it all began. Elon Musk's childhood, a story filled with loneliness, books, and lessons that would shape his future. A childhood of struggles. Elon Musk was born in South Africa in 1971. Life wasn't easy for young Elon. He was a quiet, shy child who loved books more than people. At school, he was bullied. He was beaten, teased, and once a group of boys pushed him down a staircase so badly that he was sent to the hospital. At home, his life wasn't much easier. His relationship with his father was difficult, sometimes painful, so Elon turned to books for comfort. He read for hours every day, escaping into the worlds of science fiction, technology, and adventure. But here's the important part. Instead of letting pain break him, Elon used it to dream bigger. Those early struggles shaped his imagination. They gave him a vision of a future where anything was possible. Even as a boy, Elon learned a lesson that would follow him forever. When the world pushes you down, you must stand up stronger. The first failures, Zip2 and X.com. When Elon grew older, he left South Africa and moved to the United States with a dream, to build something big. His first company was called Zip2. It was a simple idea, an online city guide. But in the 1990s, most people thought the internet was useless. Annoyed, investors didn't trust him. Customers didn't understand. Elon worked day and night, living in a small office, sleeping on the floor. Finally, Zip2 found some success and was sold for millions. You'd think Elon would celebrate, right? But instead, he felt betrayed. Investors had pushed him out of the CEO role. His own company wasn't fully his anymore. Still, Elon didn't stop. His next project was X.com, an online banking system. But again, people doubted him. They said online banking would never work. Internal fights broke out. Once again, Elon was removed as CEO. That company later became PayPal, but without him in charge. 2 failures. 2 times being pushed aside. Most people would quit. But Elon saw failure differently. He realized it was not the end. It was the beginning of something greater. The dream of Tesla. By the early 2000s, Elon had money from selling PayPal. But instead of living a safe life, he risked everything. He invested in Tesla, an electric car company, and SpaceX, a rocket company. Now, imagine this. At that time, people laughed at the idea of electric cars. They said they were slow, boring, and impossible to make popular. Big car companies mocked him. The media said Tesla would fail. But Elon believed in a world without gasoline. He wanted clean energy. He wanted fast, exciting electric cars. And he gave Tesla his money, his energy, and his life. But Tesla was not smooth sailing. Production delays, rising costs, and technical problems almost killed the company. Elon poured all his personal savings into Tesla. At one point, he was so broke that he had to borrow money just to pay his rent. This was the beginning of his darkest days, the collapse of 2008. 2008 was the year when everything nearly ended for Elon Musk. Tesla was collapsing, SpaceX was failing, and the world economy was crashing. Elon had invested almost every dollar he had. Both of his companies were weeks away from bankruptcy. The stress was so heavy that Elon described this time as the worst year of his life. Imagine having the world's press calling you a fool. Imagine your companies dying, your money gone, and your dreams slipping away. At one point, Elon admitted he had to choose which company to save, Tesla or SpaceX. He didn't have enough money for both. It was like choosing between two children. The pressure was unbearable. Friends told him to quit. Experts said it was impossible. But Elon refused to give up. He believed in his vision even when no one else did. These were Elon Musk's darkest days. Days when everything seemed lost. SpaceX rockets that failed. While Tesla was burning money, SpaceX was facing disaster too. Elon's dream was to make rockets cheaper and eventually go to Mars. But space exploration is expensive, and failure is common. The first rocket exploded. Millions of dollars gone. The second rocket failed. More millions lost. The third rocket failed again. By now, almost all of Elon's money was gone. SpaceX had only enough resources for one final attempt. Everyone laughed at him. NASA officials doubted him. The media said SpaceX was a joke. But Elon didn't quit. He gathered his team, worked day and night, and prepared for one last try. In September 2008, the fourth rocket launched, and it succeeded. Finally, success. SpaceX became the first private company to reach orbit. That one success changed everything. NASA gave them contracts. Investors started believing. SpaceX was saved, just in time. Tesla survives against all odds. At the same time, Tesla was fighting for its life. The company was just weeks away from bankruptcy. Elon admitted he thought Tesla would die. But then, in late 2008, a miracle happened. Daimler, a major car company, invested in Tesla. This gave Tesla enough money to survive. A few months later, the US government also offered loans to help keep the company alive. From being almost dead, Tesla was suddenly breathing again. And Elon? He was exhausted, stressed, and nearly broken, but he had survived. This was the turning point. Tesla slowly improved production, launched new models, and started to prove critics wrong. SpaceX was winning contracts. The man who had been mocked, doubted, and laughed at was now being taken seriously. Elon Musk had walked through fire and come out stronger. The rise of Elon Musk. From 2010 onwards, things changed. Tesla began selling more cars. SpaceX started launching rockets for NASA. Slowly but surely, Elon's companies grew into global giants. By 2020, Tesla was one of the most valuable car companies in the world. SpaceX was landing reusable rockets, something no one thought possible. Elon Musk became not just a billionaire, but a symbol of innovation. But here's the truth. His success was not built on money. It was built on pain, failure, and resilience. Elon Musk's darkest days forced him to become stronger. Without those struggles, there would be no Tesla, no SpaceX, and no Elon Musk as we know him. Today, people see his success, but behind it lies a story of almost giving up, of facing bankruptcy, and of fighting against the world. His story proves that sometimes the darkest nights create the brightest stars. So, what can we learn from Elon Musk's struggles? We learn that success is not a straight line. It is filled with failures, rejections, and moments when you feel like quitting. But if you keep going, if you keep believing, you can turn dark days into your greatest strength. Thank you for listening to Beginner's English Storytime. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. What did you learn from Elon Musk's story? Could you keep going in the face of failure like he did? Until next time, remember, your darkest days may be shaping your brightest future.